Next time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to it. The bat is dead. Bury it. Consider this mercy.
Tell me. Do you bleed? You will.
Welcome to another edition of the Qatar Lal podcast, and this is a replay of sorts, because earlier we had our streaming, but my Wi-Fi connection, my internet connection was screwy, and I don't think that StreamYard could have fixed the moment. And thank you, Sergeant Giratina, for being in the chat. Yeah, StreamYard is kind of tricky. And yes, we're still in the road to 500 subs. Thank you for all the likers, the subscribers, and please continue to support this channel. And replay crew are most welcome. So we're starting the stuff we started this morning, and yes, Iron Man 2008, the watch along, and please make sure you have your Disney Plus in on your player, and or any other streaming services you have. And let's begin in five, four, three, two, and one. Play. Of course, this is the original entry for the MCU from Paramount Pictures. On the heels of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel Entertainment and the Marvel Studios production. And we have AC/DC's music in the background. I, I, sh- I could have, I should have finished this stream earlier, but StreamYard is so wonky this past few days. I don't know if it's StreamYard per se or my Wi-Fi. We have Robert Downey Jr., the preregulator, the progerator, progenitor. Wait, I'm mispronouncing. Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. Progenitor is of course who Robert Downey Jr. is for Marvel, the cinematic universe. This, of course, is a remake reimagining of Iron Man's origin. In the comics way back in the 60s, Iron Man was in the Vietnam War, and the the shrapnel that went into his heart is basically the same story from the comics, but the setting, the enemy, of course, is in the Orient, not in. This is actually the Middle East, technically Afghanistan, but the Mandarin was behind uh, Tony Stark's uh, v- injury, and he's still um, weapons manufacturer. This is what you term back in the day as tongue-in-cheek version of this movie, because every other movie, Marvel movie back then was different from what happened uh, to the present. The first Marvel breakthrough was, of course, Blade with Wesley Snipes. Then 20th Century Fox got tons of property, and also Universal. The storyline that they got is The Devil in the Bottle, where Stark quit being Iron Man or was kicked out by Stain. Then Stark International became Stain International, and somehow James Rhodes was retroactively adjusted to be a member of Stark Enterprises. The actors that play it, aside from Robert Downey Jr., Terrence Howard as Jim Rhodes, Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan, Gwyneth uh, Paltrow as Pepper Potts, Jeff Bridges plays Obadiah Stane. Although Robert Downey Jr. never read an Iron Man comic when he was young, he totally captured uh, being Tony Stark in the movies. This was a nice movie considering everything. I think he had the short end of the stick when they recasted Terrence Howard with that guy, Don Cheadle. It's a wonder how my Wi-Fi system seems to be doing a-okay, and it seems that earlier this morning, my time, everyone is online for um, a StreamYard streaming, and a shout out to everyone, Bat Dan, Sin Havoc, Hold My Dual Shocks, Sergeant Giratina, Dennis Medina, uh, Integrity 101. They had a couple of streaming this morning. This morning, my time. Last night, the US. It's been how many years since Iron Man 1 was shown? 27 years since Iron Man 1 was shown, way back in 2008. And yes, Sergeant, 2008. And yes, they did a bit of pop rock musical background for this movie, making it more friendly to the masses. But this movie earned about 585.8 million in the box office with a 130 to 140 million budget, not counting marketing, I think. This was distributed by Paramount Pictures, and I think Disney still hasn't got a hold of this movie back then, or have they? That's why the feel of the movie is quite different. In 2008, the movies that these this film has went side by side with was the Punisher Warzone. We have in 2008 we have The Dark Knight. Those are the top grossing films of 2008. The Dark Knight, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Kung Fu Panda, Hancock, Mamma Mia, Madagascar 2, Quantum of Solace, Iron Man, Wally, and Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian. So imagine that these movies haven't uh, these movies were great during that time. Let's check timestamp just to sync up. The timestamp is 14 minutes 10 seconds for this movie. The awesomeness of this movie was great, awesome, and great in a sentence. It's kind of redundant. So Tony Stark is a munitions man, a weapon dealer. He sells arms. His dad in this movie was Michael Bean. The Jericho missile systems. So first of all, he was a warhawk back in the day, except when he was ambushed in Afghanistan. But I don't understand how he came from a roughly conservative guy, then he went liberal once he found out what his company is doing. The Afghan cave is where he got his first armor. So how is it, Sarge? Uh, got any news on uh, the trailer of a certain L movie? My first stream today was kind of slow in the beginning, then it lagged and stopped. But I did show the trailer for both teaser trailer for One Punch Dan, which I will show a bit later, and I showed the trailer of Superman 2025, which looks cheap. Yes, Sarge, the trailer of Superman 2025 dropped. It looks bleak. It's I don't know, man. I didn't enjoy it. It's a poor copy of Man of Steel and Zack Snyder's style. The color was lackluster, color grade, and man, crypto. They had crypto appear. This guy, uh, Ho Yinsen, uh, the actor Shaun Toub, also appeared in Iron Man 3. You know, the name of the terrorist group that kidnapped Tony is the Ten Rings. And that's a shout out to the Mandarin and, of course, Shang-Chi uh, later on through the years. Sergeant Gioncina said, "Yup, the trailer for Gunn's Superman movie is lackluster, not a blockbuster like Jon Favreau's first Iron Man movie from 2008." Yes, that's true. However, tongue in cheek, Iron Man 1 was back then. It's still better than what we got from Ganipu. Batman Begins had a box office of 373.7 million as compared to 150 million budget, but it still earned a sequel. So there's no pretension. There's no pretension on that fact. Sergeant Giratina said the Ten Rings, named after the Mandarin of Ten Power Rings. Yes, that's true. It's named the same. So since 2008, they're planning to have the Mandarin as the Iron Man villain. But in we all know what happened with Iron Man 3. And that movie was well, the start of I don't know, the wacky aspect of the MCU. That movie, along with, of course, the Guardians of the Galaxy, who solve uh, a universal galactic crisis with a dance off. That's really. dopey and silly in my book. Loyal customers for Stark International. In the comics, it's Stark International or Stark Enterprise. It's a multi business industry. So, how much is palladium in the market? The Mark One armor up to a certain point was very good until they use the microbots. Uh, what's the term for those? The new armors in it's sort of lazy, nanotech. Yeah, when they did nanotech, everything was messed up. He made uh, a miniature arc reactor. The principle is based on fusion light atomic nuclei generating massive energy, similar to that produce in the core of stars. I can't remember if the arc reactor is powered by an infinity stone. I mean, uh, the power source in the no, Thor: The Dark World is quite different compared to the other Infinity Stones. You notice the big ring with that terrorist in that terrorist's hands. So technically, the arc reactor is quite different from the Infinity Stones, and if given enough reason, it can uh, be a solo story arc on its own. Uh, this movie also has the first appearance of Phil Coulson, agent of Shield. There was an animated Iron Man movie in 2007 that has a similar, albeit different, plot from this movie. But since they were doing basically the same thing, yeah, it's similar, especially the old armor, the gray armor that Tony first uh, invented and wore. It was hard to do a movie with ties back then because number one, Iron Man was uh Iron Man was the start of the cinematic universe for Marvel. But before that, we have Blade, who has its own continuity. We have the X Men, the Fox's X Men, who has their own continuity. Plus, we have Man Thing, which flopped back then. Ang Lee's Hulk, which was underrated for me. It was actually good. It has suspense elements. Plus, it shows the monster very much. Sergeant Fiorentina says, I'm thinking of leaving hold my dual shock soon. They're still fun to hang out with in the chats, but after tonight's stream, I have to move on to other things. What happened during tonight's streams, man? I miss that stream because I was planning to do this stream earlier, and well, you know what happened. Superman L was banned from my channel. What happened to tonight's streams? Well, ever since Guns movie trailer was out, everything was messy and chaotic. No one respects everyone. Well, they started those betas started something really messy. I mean, man, I started streaming when Mikey was alive, and the only reason why I started streaming was I was supporting the Snyder verse, the Snyder the Snyder cut. Plus, I really like what Zack Snyder did since uh, Man of Steel. Terrence lost control of his temper when I asked him why he doesn't want anyone to chat with him directly on Discord, and I'm not in any position to ask what the duelist the suspend him from being a mod. Oh, well, man. Uh, Telling you as an older guy, uh, internet friendship doesn't really last that long. And those who do last are precious, man. Enjoy your company well. And yeah, people are people. We can't change them. And it's a good thing I'm not on Discord. That's one of those stuff that I limit myself with. Only YouTube. I mean, I'm not even using my Rumble. It's too political for me down there. Hey, that's what friends are for, Sarge. My turn. The weapons of this old armor are crude. Flamethrowers. I think he has a gun, or does he? This armor should be the clanky one because the red and gold should be more polished in moving. It's amazing how the armor is withstanding the bullets. That's a big gun, man. Yeah. Crash land, crash and burn. It's nearly Christmas, man. And everyone's busy. I have to reschedule some streams, especially next week. I'm gonna do a watch along marathon for about 3 days, starting with Man of Steel on Christmas Day, Wednesday. Then there's Thursday with Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Cut, and the last one on Friday, of course, is Zack Snyder's Justice League. My very first time to stream that movie, all 4 hours of it. I hope I can reschedule, do a nice uh, scheduling for, and my internet connection will be a okay. Terrence Howard is a really good Jim Rhodes. I like him somehow better than Don Cheadle, but Don Cheadle has his moments. Yeah, ZSJL is epic gold, and that will be a long stream. But I did my longest stream was when I did the watch along for the King Kong cartoons on Netflix. I I watch the entire season in one sitting. Well, that was before. Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan, and as director of this film, He's one of those good guys, and he did the Mandalorian justice back in the day. Jeff Bridges plays a mean bad guy in this movie. This was Robert Downey Jr.'s return to the limelight. I think before Iron Man, he was down in the dumps. Although I did like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, the movie that Robert RDJ played with Val Kilmer. I think Robert Downey Jr. is a bit shorter than me. Could be. The last good movie I saw with RDJ was that movie from Christopher Nolan. Um, Oppenheimer was the last very good movie I saw from Robert Downey Jr. And everything else is technically a franchise for the MCU. That's a weapons company that doesn't make weapons. Pepper Potts has always been Tony Stark's secretary, even back in the 60s. Man, is an improvised arc reactor for his heart and smells of pus. Man, plasmic discharges, pus. That's a bit deep because the shrapnel are moving back into his heart once the electromagnets is gone. And yeah, they did fake pus. Now, where did I see Gwyneth Paltrow before? Gwyneth Paltrow was in various movies before. She appeared in Seven in 1995. Oh, can't remember that. She was in Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow in 2004. She appeared in A Perfect Murder in 1998 with Michael Douglas and Viggo Mortensen. Oh. And she also appeared in Robin Williams' Hook with as the young Wendy Darling. That's interesting. They made this prototype digital glass keyboards, a hologram even. I don't think they really had that technology back then. Basically, this made RDJ so cool in the comic book world. All in all, this movie was well enjoyable to say the least. But I've always been a DC person. But I really enjoy the other comic book companies. Well, technically, the Iron Man suit is both mechanical and electronic. So the mechanical engineers were so in heaven during this time. Those were the days. From the very beginning, the whole MCU was bigger than anything else we've seen. Acting like a spoiled brat. I think Tony Stark is another billionaire spoiled brat. much like Bruce Wayne. So Tony's continuing to test his armor, or the basis for his armor, exoskeleton. This, of course, the story plot is simple enough. It's your comic book story, comic book movie plot, which is a lot of fun and not that serious. Unlike, well, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises, which was, man, those movies were serious. Man of Steel was a real serious Superman story, unlike Superman 78 and Superman Returns. Timestamp is 1 hour, 1 minute, and 17 seconds. Paul Bettany as the AI, uh, Jarvis. Now, Jarvis was originally Tony Stark's butler in the comic books, and they changed him in this movie, in this cinematic universe, as an AI, artificial intelligence, that does everything for Tony. So the silver armor was the prototype. Man of Steel was solid. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Sergeant. Now we're seeing the first differences between technically Marvel and the DC movies, the DC films, even back in the day. Superman 1 in 1978 was a tongue-in-cheek approach that was has been the standard for every superhero movie out there. But Man of Steel blew it out of the water. It was different. It's Man of Steel was serious, and it was your renaissance of superheroes for DC. I can't believe people still see, especially BVS, as divisive. It's not actually. You should People should understand the story within the movie, and it's all those movies you have in your head is not. No, it's that's not it. And to tell you the truth, there is no perfect movie. Everything has a flaw somewhere in the editing, in the storyline, in everything. I just noticed uh, last month when I rewatched this movie that the ring that Terrace had is one of the mandarins. The Mark III armor is the third armor he made. The first one was, of course, the prototype, the armor from the desert. Then the silver one, uh, and of course, the Mark III. Before Iron Man, the movie in 2008, uh, Iron Man was a second tier character in the comics. He was not, you know, he was not in the top three of Marvel's lineup. We had Spider Man, we had uh, Wolverine, we had Daredevil. Iron Man was nowhere in sight. Cabin fever. This is the first time Tony Stark met Agent Coulson. Shield, strategic homeland intervention, blah blah blah. So basically, next week it's 5 days before Christmas. Yeah, and my next stream is on the 25th. I'm gonna rest for 4 days at least. I plan to make probably next year if they let me. If YouTube let me, I'm gonna do a trailer reaction for that blasted uh, flop of a movie. It's a freaking trailer. There's no need to, you know, cancel uh, or block that stream. I think Ganipu has marked every one of us in the cell movement. Well, that's what I think. Prove me wrong. You know, before the MCU, before Iron Man, everything was uh, dark in the superhero world. Guess why? And every Christopher Reeve Superman has a dropping box office return. Of course, Superman 78 was the highest. Second is Superman 2, but that was not Donner's version already. It was Richard Lester. And then there's Richard Lester with Superman 3, who was almost a flop, and Superman 4, the flop Superman movie, when they put different powers on Superman, the concrete vision. But in Superman 2, in Lester's version, Superman already have the plastic emblem power. Everything uh, was wacky back then. So Obadiah Stane is definitely not a good guy. Nope, he's not a good guy. The Heart of Darkness is Golmera. This is the first time that Iron Man will go out in the world because he's pissed with Stain. The Ten Rings, the Mandarins, man. One of the most famous pictures of this movie. Yes, Sergeant Obadiah is a maniac. He's a control freak, and he likes money so much. Money, of course, is the root of the love of money is the root of all evil. That's written in scriptures. You know the VFX of this movie was really good, even for uh 2008 compared to the most recent Marvel movies now. Cheap uh VFX can really cause movies like this. I mean, really, I didn't like the the VFX of Guardians 3. It looks cheap. It looks like the cross between the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. I wonder why people still think that Gunny Poo is the savior of the CBM world. Yep, money's the root of all evil. That's one of those facts of life. Debt, taxes, and yeah, money. The the sound effects for the armor is so much tongue in cheek. I mean, armor doesn't sound like that on dirt. And the MCU has no qualms in killing bad guys, unlike certain fan base that I don't know, man. They think that superheroes don't kill. Damn, his rockets, mini rockets are more powerful. I compare this with Iron Man 2 with what that guy's name who sold bad weapons to War Machine. Justin Hammer. Hammer Tech sucks in Iron Man 2. No tech, no tech, la 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 la. Sonic Boom for the jet. This is one of the best scenes for this movie. There he goes, hanging on the plane. Of course, the reason they're gonna give is training exercise. Man. The usual BS training exercise are timestamp for this movie 1 hour 24 minutes and 47 minutes 47 seconds. Man. So Pepper Potts is one hell of a comedy relief. Show me the weapon. Man, Obadiah Stane is so evil. So basically, Tom Clancy, James Bond, and RoboCop were the inspiration for Iron Man, the ultimate spy movie. That's weird. So they did practical effects instead of CGI. That's nice. It authenticity is important. Hmm. Skis Live. I think I'll watch it on replay. What a picture from Sin Havoc. My Adventures with Superman plus what's this? Star Lord equals Corin Sweat's Superman L. Nice, 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 nice. That's why they killed off. Uh, yeah, good night, Guarantina. Thank you for joining my stream today. Our timestamp 1 minute, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 55 seconds before the movie ends. Nice. The technology doesn't exist. In a cave. Remember to subscribe to Sergeant Garantina on YouTube. Renegades. Oh, wrong. Yeah, this one. Oh man, Stain just pulled out Tony's heart. All right. They just Stain just left Tony to die. The Iron Mongol, Obadiah Stane, Obadiah Stane, unconservative, armored suit. And James Rhodes arrives in the nick of time. Okay, now we have Sony and Jim Rhodes. Too bad Terrence Howard didn't get to wear this armor. Would have been dope, man, next time. But that next time didn't happen with him. It happened with a different actor. I thought it would be bigger. And At 48%, uh, Tony's suit is still working. No, 19% doesn't have strength left. So these are the comedic parts of the movie. So basically, Tony's armor should be slower since he has only 11 to 10% energy left. 2% power. They're planning to fry the circuits. So basically, Obadiah Stane appeared first in Iron Man 163, dated October 1982, and the Ironmonger armor first appeared in Iron Man 200, November 1985. Nice one. Nice info. And Obadiah Stane was Pride, Brain Fry. Timestamp 1 hour 53 minutes 20 seconds. Unconfirmed robotic prototype malfunction. The bodyguard in a suit. He was being portrayed as a bodyguard in the Iron Man suit since, well, inception. Just stick to the cards, man. Just stick to the cards. He's not sticking to the cards. I am Iron Man, and mayhem followed. Black Sabbath music, directed by Jon Favreau. All right. So I'm moving this forward, the movie forward, to get uh, the post-credit scene. That, that was a nice movie. And the post-credit scene followed what the X-Men did in the X-Men comics, in the X-Men movies, especially X-Men 3, The Last Stand. Yeah, we see Tony, uh, Jarvis talking to Tony, and the guy in the black trench coat, Nick Fury. Samuel L. Jackson's portrayal of Nick Fury is more similar to was really taken from the Ultimates, the Ultimate line, the Ultimate Avengers comic book. And yes, this was a decent, very good, decent movie. This was the first uh, MCU film series, the first Iron Man franchise. I rate this movie as a 7 over 10, only because, well, I could have rated it lower since when I first watched it, I rated the movie lower. But, I'm in a giving mood today. And so, thank you for being with me. And thank you for uh, taking the time to join my uh, watch along. Do like, subscribe, and share this channel. And yes, before we say farewell, I'm gonna feature the teaser trailer for One Punch Dan by the movie by Zod Rider, showing July 11, 2025.
So, you're the one they call Necron?
Wow, you sure are perceptive. What gave my identity away?
This conversation is over, Issa. Stop this evil now.
Don't make me hasten your death.
God has given me the power to defeat you.
Because I saved them.
Well, that's why I waited until you were there. I got the information I needed. No one died. I did it your way.
He does have a point.
I know it got lost in all the confusion, but we still have some issues to settle here. There are only heroes and there are villains.
You think yourself a hero, but you would let these criminals go free.
Heroes don't kill people.
Well, I do.